Hey everybody, this is Tom from Rocket Restorations, and today we visit my yard of dreams. Wildcat Auto Wrecking in Sandy, Oregon. All Mopar wrecking yard. This place is awesome. Good people too. Today I gotta pick up some parts for one of my project cars, and I'm just trading them a bunch of sheet metal. Don't worry about the Z-car wheels, just ignore those. Those are for Jamie. I've been trying to buy that sign from Ed for 20 years. There goes Ed. Supposed to have the RAN pulled for me, but fortunately they didn't, so they're working on that right now. I love the front ends over here. 59 Plymouth, 58 Desoto, 61 Desoto, that's a rare one. Cab, 64 Rend. Another thing I always like about coming down here is seeing stuff that I've seen in the past. So see that James G. Murphy sticker on the back of that 71 Charger Rend? That came from the snowboard auction, which is the house I live at right now. I bought it, they had the snowboard auction about 8 years ago. I ended up buying the house after that. Memories. Currently they have to make way for the forklift by moving several vehicles. Engine stuff over here. 62 318, runs 318. 65 pickup good. Yeah, you need an engine. They've got a lot. Stuck 361. Yeah, there's like just a history of Mopar in this yard. That's why it's so much fun going through. Rampage! 2.2 Rampage. 70 Fury. Sure, I could use a few parts off that. I think all the front end stuff's gone. All right, one of the other reasons I came down here is their row of 71 300s. Oh, they have 3 of them here. So Alan, working at Rocket yesterday, helps Jamie out. Bought the 300 from Jamie, and he needs fenders and doors, and they are pretty nice on this. Maybe she should part out an original 300, but you know, those both look pretty nice. Remember, it's not for me. Any angry comments about parting out original 79 300, send them to Jamie from Dead Dodge Garage. Yeah, these both look pretty good. Original paint. Maybe a little bit gone there. Yeah. These swing out fender big Dodge trucks are always kind of cool. D500. Love the emblem too. Big old chrome thing. They have so much cool stuff here. Van cabs, truck cabs, power wagons, diplomats. Stuff's pretty organized here. All right, I'm gonna get this RAN loaded, and then I'll give you a little tour of the yard. I hope that's not structural, but I digress. All right, I need bought another 74 Monaco CHP car, and I need a RAN for it. And this Oregon State Patrol Fury 1 is gonna donate it. Now we just gotta figure out how to get it out. That is a lot of pistons and rods. PK41U. Yep. P Plymouth, K police package, U is the 440 HP, built on 3 of 74. Looks like somebody got the certified Speedo already. Those are very hard to find. Fender tag's still here too. I think this is Oregon State Patrol if I remember right. Magnuson for US Senate. Well, that was fun. Had to go out sideways. Luckily, what are those? Looks like that's part of his lunch. Gummy worms. Yeah, the Wildcat guy helped me get that out sideways, Andy, I believe. And we dragged it out, and whatever left of my back is now gone, because now it's really, really sore. We basically dragged it out sideways with the forklift, and then now we're gonna load it in my truck. I don't even know what this is, but I like it. Stetson Metromite. It's international. How cool is that? A slant 4. I think they put those in the Scout too. Okay, this one's really neat too. So a lot of people don't know this car even exists. So this is called a sports grain. So it's a Chrysler Newport. VIN's right here. CE23. C is Chrysler, E is economy for Newport, 323 is two-door hardtop, and G is 383 two-barrel. 69 is the year, 1969. So this was a very rare option. You can actually get it on a convertible too. I've seen a few of those as well. Wildcats had a few of these over the years. I thought they sold this to a guy. They never picked it up, but I could be wrong. But yeah, it's basically the wagon wood grain side trim on a hardtop or a convertible. What a neat option. I can't remember what the fender tag code is for that. Should we pop the hood? We should pop the hood. Well, I couldn't find the hood latch. I'll look it up later. I'll add to the video later and tell you what the code is, the sports green side, but the code is A58. Really neat option. You don't see them very often. All right, here's the main gate. Just picked up a hood. So basically I got another 74 Monaco CHP car from that wrecking yard, the super secret wrecking yard in California I can't talk about, which is dumb because I could sell a bunch of cars for them, but whatever. And I needed, it was missing the hood, missing the back glass for the other one I got, and it was missing a rear end so it doesn't roll. So I got a rear end, rear glass, and hood for a 74. 65 Coronet, 66 Chrysler, air guard license plate frame, van, sweptline stuff. This is, it's a little bit more mixed. The yard's pretty well organized, but it's a little bit more mixed over here. 67 Dart. You can tell because no side marker and no VIN on the dash. So 68 had the little round side markers, 69 had the rectangle reflectors, and 68 and 69 had the VIN on the dash. 66 Barracuda. A couple of those. Here's the Lancer pile. Lancer GT. Boy, these things just, they look better as a four-door. They're just a much better design as a four-door because they were kind of designed to be a four-door. You know, the two-door just kind of looks awkward. They got a bunch of Lancers. They used to race one forever. There's a 62, it's a race car. Gas tanks. Said, if you need any Mopar parts, Wildcat's the place to call. If they don't have it, probably nobody's got it. Trim, taillights, lots and lots of trim, more taillights, quarter panel extensions. They actually have everything fairly well organized here. It's under dash AC stuff, Barracuda, hood moldings, and I'm good friends with the owner Ed. He's a super nice guy, so he pretty much gives me carte blanche to walk around in here. C-body. Lots of wipers. Lots and lots of wipers. Bit of a floor pan. Those are the bucket seat braces. So 66 to 70 on any B-body. If you got bucket seats, they welded those brackets in there for reinforcement for the bucket seats. Because on a bench, the studs are just on the outside. On the bucket, obviously, you have 4 on each side instead of 4 total. And that was just a brace so it didn't break the floor pan. Ooh, lots of consoles. A-body, P-body, E-body, mirrors, really A-body consoles. They've got a pretty good business on eBay too. Oh, I love it when you see gas tanks like this. So that's a sweptline truck gas tank behind the rear seat. But how cool is that? See the stamp on there? That's actually the stamp from the metal that was used to stamp the tank. Roofs, steering column, bunch of intakes too. It's kind of the glass area in here, and seats. Let's see a B-body rear seat. Those aren't cheap. Dash clusters complete. It's like the plastic gas tank area right over there. Oh, my bad. I think I said this was a 62 Plymouth. It's a 62 Plymouth Lancer. I thought it was a B-body. It's actually an A-body. That's their old race car. I think Randy, who works here, used to race that. 66 Bell 2. Late A-body. F-bodies. This is, traditionally, this is where they have most of their project cars that are for sale. A100 van. That's a cool tow truck. Cummins. It's neat. K-car convertible. And pretty much everything's for sale here. They've been running a Mopar wrecking yard for 30 years now, maybe more. Got a lot of stuff. Ooh, there's a Ram Charger top. Evan needs one of those. And it's pretty rusty though. That's the problem with these Ram Charger tops. Very difficult to find in good shape. A bunch of deck lids. It's actually nice how they have it organized so they can actually see what's here. It's a Duster trunk lid. Looks like it has a spoiler on it. 67 Coronet 500 deck lid. Ooh, spoiler hatchback. Those are Vega. Charger deck lid. It's got rust on it. Downtown Dodge. Cool. Hutchison. Not sure what state that is. More doors over there. Lots and lots and lots and lots of doors. It's always nice when they put a VIN on it. Makes it very easy to identify. 1874 Dart. Swinger, 2-door hardtop. More project cars over here. A couple Desotos. I think that's a 58 and a 57. 2 headlights is generally 58. Singles generally 57. Always kind of like these. Dart convertible. 62 Plymouth Post. Wagon. Always like these early A-body convertibles. They're just super cheap cars. 62 Plymouth Post. I bet that's a project car. Cop car. Diplomat. Skimp. 62 Chrysler. Early wagon. And the convertible Dart 68 convertible. Some of the older stuff over here, post-war stuff. Satellite, lots of A-bodies, couple F bodies. Cornet Deluxe, that was the base trim in 66 and 67. This is a 67, yep. So no finish panel, Deluxe. We're going Deluxe 440, 500, and then RT in 67. Cushman. Some Ford look stuff. I believe that's a convertible. They've had that forever. It's a Grand Coupe 70 Plymouth. Those were factory 2-door posts. Kind of cool. 7 Cornet 2-door hardtop. Those 300s that we're definitely not parting out are over there. Club cab. Ooh, Ram Charger. Orange Ram Charger. That's kind of neat. He's had a few pieces taken off it. Fin car over there. I get distracted so easily. It's got modern seats. It's mostly parted out, but still, Ram Charger. Early one, 74, 75 with that grill, somewhere around there. Well, it's not a 74. 74 Ram Chargers have a half door, so it ends there, just like the Blazer. So it's got to be 75 and up, probably 75, 76. Let's see. Looks restorable. I don't know. Another convertible. You got a tarp over that's torn. That is 68 Chrysler. Yeah, 300. Can't see the side marker, so I can't tell the year, but yeah, 67 or 68, 300. Custom club cab, fin to wagon. Gotta love the fins. 2-door Plymouth. Some power wagons. Nice Duster over there. Adventurer truck. Duster looks clean. 62 Plymouth B-body. Oof. Friends don't let friends put vinyl tops on cars. That's what happens. It's got a 340 stripe on it. Looks like it was hitting the back pretty hard. Huh. Reno license plate frame. That's kind of cool. No VIN. Maybe that's why it's being parted. Probably 340 car though. Oh, panel wagon. That's kind of neat. Love that Ford look logo. That's like one of my favorite logos they ever made on the trucks. Just so cool. TV service truck. I've always wanted to put one of these on like a Dakota chassis or something, but it seems like a lot of work. Charger. Pretty sure they're selling that one whole. Toad Valiant. So many parts. Hubcaps. Grills, wheels, more caps, more grills. Cab over. See, doing one of these as a ramp truck would be really, really neat. If you're gonna roll dirty, that's how you roll. Chrysler fender, might be Imperial. Lots of hubcaps, wheels and tires. Oh, this is kind of a neat hubcap. So they used this style hubcap on a ton of different stuff. So kind of that turbine hubcap, but in 68, 69, and well, 68, if you got a Hemi car, the only 15-inch hubcap they had was this or dog dishes. So if you have a 68 or 69 Hemi car, you basically had to have this hubcap. But there's multiple different versions of it. So there's a truck version that has a Pentastar in the middle. There's a version on the C bodies that says disc brake around there. And then there's one there's a couple of Chrysler versions that say Chrysler in the middle of them. But these are blank, which means they're 68, 69 Hemi car, or I've seen them on like 15-inch C bodies that didn't have disc brakes. There's a few different versions they did this, but the blank version's really, really rare, really hard to find. I've got a few stashed away from my 1968 444 speed Sport Fury convertible, because that's what it had, because it had 15-inch wheels without disc brakes. But it had disc brakes, rusted disc brakes in them. Keystones, single lug at least. Kind of over my mag wheel stage. I have a whole bunch of them I've never been able to get rid of or do anything with. Another hood. Oh man, so many parts. These are one of their race car projects too. Bell one. I think that's Randy's Barracuda. Ooh, there is, how did they end up with that? Man, that takes me back. That's the hood from the Size Matters 1967 Plymouth Fury that we raced in Lemons for like 5 or 6 years. The 24 Hours of Lemons. So our first car we built for it was a 67 Fury, and we're trying to lose weight. So we put like a, I think it's off a Duster, I think, but scooped hood with Rocket Restorations, rocketresto.com on it. That's funny. I didn't realize that was up here. I still have the windshield from that car. We put a plexiglass windshield in it, which was a terrible idea because windshield wipers don't work in the rain. Rain doesn't beat off of it, and well, there's many, many reasons why it didn't work, but that's among them. All right, here's secret stash room in the shop. He has a bunch of really cool neon and signs I've been trying to buy from him for 20 years. He won't sell me. Lots of hubcaps. So he's got one of every hood in here, I think. He was trying to like collect them all. That's cool. That's a Duster Twister hood. That's neat. That was an option. That was basically a 340 Duster, but like without the 340. So 318 or slant 6. That Fury's neat. 2-door black. That's one of Ed's personal projects. Another Charger. Yeah, not very many people get in this room, so you guys are lucky. I know people. Hemi on a stand. That's neat. I think that's a Demon hood and scoop. And then there's stuff all up in these attics, just full of parts. There's aluminum intakes up there, whole rack of them. Oh, that's actually a 57 300C hood. That's a very rare hood, 300C only. Might fit D too, but letter car only. There's no interchange with it. Lots of different grills. He's got all the Hemi valve covers, 426, Poly, Chrysler Marine. That's the rare one. You ever see the early Hemi valve covers with the bumps on it? That means it originally had adjustable rockers. Very, very rare. More Chrysler stuff. That button, I've got one of those. That's an old one. I think that's from the 50s. They were trying to like reproduce the original stuff, and then that thermometer's cool too. I've got a couple of different versions of that. I may have to see if I can get that back from him, just to hang that on the wall. He was gonna put that on a race car, never did. Here's brake drums. I actually need some rear drums for my brother's truck. I need to remember to ask him about that. My brother's got a 67 Power Wagon he bought. I did a video on it a while ago, but the rear drums are toast on it, and I don't know where to find them. It's a half-ton 4x4. It's very hard to find the drums. They're like 12x2. Original AER Cuda fender, original 71 Cuda fender. Some neat wheels. The bumper I just sold Randy. I just took down for him. Lots of radiators. I've got a ton of radiators too. I've never actually went through and organized them. I really need to do that one of these days. Glass piles. It gets really windy up here, so they're real careful trying to store this stuff so it doesn't blow over and break. Bumper pile. There's most of the trucks over there. Bumpers. Fenders. Funny part, all these bumpers, they actually didn't have a 69 Plymouth one. I had one for Randy, but oh, Viper hood. Again, James G. Murphy. He bought that from the auction. That's funny. That's actually a pretty valuable hood. Those Viper hoods are getting extremely hard to find. Dude, the Viper stuff at the snowboard auction went so ridiculously cheap. I bought like a bunch of NOS Viper parts for like $5. It was crazy how cheap it was. The race base. I don't know what that means. Kind of like it though. That's their Gasser Project Dodge back there. That thing's pretty awesome. Red headlights, looks evil. Key members, fan shrouds, 70 Fury front bumpers. Mustang, what's that doing here? More Viper parts from the James G. Murphy auction, from the snowboard auction. 60 Dodge peeking out back there. That's cool. Ram Charger back there. I guess we'll kind of do a lap back here. I said, you ever get a chance to come down here? It's fun just to walk around. There's just so much cool stuff here. It's basically Mopar heaven down here. I was trying to do some sort of Field of Dreams joke, but I don't think it's working. Four-door Dodge. That's a big dirt pile over there. Quarter panels over here. More mag wheels. So many mag wheels. 60 Plymouth. Hubcaps. Duster rear end. Demon rear end. It's a Valiant or a Lancer? I think it's a Lancer. More trucks. Another Ram Charger. Got a few of those. Rear ends and wheels and all sorts of fun stuff. Rear ends, they crushed out like 6-7 years ago. They crushed out a couple hundred cars, and they did their best to save everything off of them that they could. All the front suspension, if the back halves were good, they can store a lot more that way. If they had good quarter panels or anything, they try to save those. Lots of trucks, Cordoba grill, vans, rotors. This is kind of a hard to find rotor there. 7072 B body. It's got the 2-piece rotor. They sell replacements now that are 1-piece, which the 1-piece is honestly a better design, but it's not original. A100s. Another A-body roof. 71 Duster Demon. It's like an old military trailer. Alright, can I cut through here? Alright, here's all the post-war stuff. Ooh, Fury 1 cop car. I think this was here last time. Too bad the roof's rusted. Oh, that's cool. 440 hood badges. Wow. PK41 T. So P for Plymouth, K is cop car, T is 440 non-HP. This is probably an Oregon car. Let me see, they're in Oregon. Yeah, it was originally white. Tan interior. Not WSP. Washington State Patrol ran 70 Fury 3s. They had Tico 440s too, but they were Fury 3s. They were a higher end car, and they weren't technically police package cars. Wintertech's still there. Interesting. 999 special order paint. I wonder why they would do that with white. Maybe this wasn't white. Though it sure looks like it was white. Special paint, special order. Neat. Again, log manifolds in that. Although that's an orange motor, so it's probably been changed. You know I love my cop cars. I need to get like a GoPro or something because my hand's actually like cramping up the way I'm holding my phone. I know. Wine bitch. Just ignore me. Fin car stuff, 55, 56. Very unique styling on these. They're really good looking cars. They're just still coil spring. The 57 was such light years ahead of the 56 with the torsion bars and torque flight, and 3-speed transmission made a big difference on these. Desoto Sportsman. I think these are mostly Desotos on the right. Plymouths and Dodgers on the left. V8 Plymouth. Polymotor. Very well weathered. Well, when you gotta get up to the top car, use the ladder. Ooh, rusty rockers. You know, I said the 57s were kind of a light years ahead. They were, but they had their own issues. So see right there, torsion bars. 57 was the first year for that. But the problem with the 57s, and I think this is actually a 58 Fireflight, I believe, with the 4 headlights. The quality control was just not good. When the 57s were kind of rushed out, and they were so light years ahead of GM and Ford at the time in design and styling, but they were a little half cooked. You know, there's a lot of stuff in 58. There's like multiple more body mounts and a bunch of that stuff, because these are still full frame cars. They didn't go unibody till 60, but they used the torsion bars. So you can see right here, they still have a frame rail on them. That one's a little rusty crusty. But yeah, these are still full frame cars. They didn't go unibody till 60. The cars look very similar, but obviously the underpinnings are all different. Big brakes on that too. So I think as a Fireflight, I think that was the top line one. So they actually got 12-inch brakes. But yeah, the 57s were a lot better built than the 58s, but they still had a lot of issues. The rockers rusted really bad. They hadn't really perfected splash shields yet. So like the back of the fenders rusted out pretty bad. The front of the fenders, like the 57 Plymouths are notorious, like when they were almost brand new, that the eyebrows up here rusted out. And you can see this one's got a lot of issues too. I said, everything's pretty well organized in here, except on the outer. So this is the 57, 58, 59 stuff. And then here's the 60 to 62 stuff right here. Kind of divided into eras. These are the last of the Finn cars. Carden, 62 Chrysler, 61 Windsor. Love the big fins on those. 60 Chrysler there. The toilet bowl deck lid. Yep, that's what they called it. The toilet bowl, because, well, I'm gonna let you use your imagination on that. 60 DeSoto. I think that's also a DeSoto. Wasn't much different than DeSotos those years. Well, that's kind of cool. That emblem's neat. Just the Matador and Polara got that in 1960. So 1960 Dodge. Another DeSoto. I really want to make one of these into a Lemons car. Nobody knows of a halfway decent 60 DeSoto. That's kind of what I want to build. Fortunately, they cut the back off of this one already, which is kind of a shame. 60 Plymouth there, biggest fins they ever put on a Mopar. 62 300. They called that one the plucked chicken because no more fins. LeBaron GTC, Fastback Barracuda. Ooh, X, Hornet X. I don't even know what that means. More Valiants, A-bodies. That's a pretty base start. Not much left of her. Seattle ran these as cop cars. 73. The Barracuda Row. 67 to 69s. Bunch of darts. Demons, darts, swingers. If the car is savable, they'd sell it, but all these cars have been here a long time before these things were worth that much. Bunch of C-bodies. K-car. Imperial, 69, I think. 67 Chrysler, 67 Fury, 68 Fury. That's Malays era. Formal. The 74 to 78 C-bodies, they just called them formals. This is where I got the rear end out. Back over here. 73 Polara. Yeah, really dumb on these. They the rear valance is plastic. Impossible to find. You ever find a 73 Polara in a wrecking yard? See if it's got the rear valance. I'll buy it from you. I need like 2 of them for my cars. And then on a 72 Polara, the front valance is plastic, which is equally hard to find. But the good news is I have a really nice one for my 72 Polara. I actually have an NOS one that I've stashed away on the shelf that I will never give up, because in case I ever break mine. All right, here's the front side. Fury wagon, 69. Custom Suburban. I really like the 70 and 71 Sport Suburban wagons on these, because they have the Sport Fury grill with the hideaways. It's really, really neat. 71 Polara Custom. Bunch of valve covers. They kind of use the cars to store stuff. So like there's their booster pile. Here's all the Imperials. More boosters. Imperials. Convertible. Fury 3, that's kind of neat. I might have sold him that one. I traded him one a while ago. Town Country, 68 300. So much good stuff. I just don't even know where to start. A100s, a bunch of my other tillers cut out, which is kind of weird. And a Challenger. Here's the E-bodies. Again, it pretty much doesn't matter how bad an E-body is anymore. They're fixable. You can get all the metal now. So these are all really, really, really rough. That's actually a 70. That's a 71. Yeah, these have been pretty heavily parted out. E-body wagon. Challenger. And I'm just pulling a bracket for somebody. Cordoba. Was that another 300? Man, they got 4 of these things in here. That's crazy. Factory dual exhaust. That's neat. 321 open. 70 Cornet on the bottom there, on the right. That's a lot of 7300s. The paint on the door's actually, well, it's missing some right there. I said Jamie's looking for original paint one for, well, Alan's looking for it, I guess. Alan and Jamie. Cordoba. Is that another 300? There's another one. So they have 5 78 300s in here. That's crazy. That's a lot of 300s. Charger. 2, 3, or 4. It's rubber isolated, probably 73, 74. All right, let's go up to the truck section real quick here and gonna grab a fender for Vanessa from 5 Point Parts. I told her I'd bring it to California. Hopefully I have room. I'm gonna go to the truck section real quick with you. Here's the rest of the B bodies over here. 63, 67. That's actually a Charger. 67 Cornet. Neat. There's kind of the truck stuff over here. Lots of sweptline stuff. Wheel pins. Yeah, lots of sweptline parts down here. Sweptline is the 61 to 71 Dodge trucks. Tin grill, which the giant grills right there, is 72 to 1980. I call them tin grills because the entire front end's tin. And the sweptline was for the, they actually called them sweptline cabs, so the big check mark there, they call it the sweptline. Lots of good trucks in here. That's kind of the Ford look era back there. Stepman camper thing. But one thing I really like about their yard is it's very explorable. Everything you can get to, it's not so packed tight in here you can't get to anything. You go to so many wrecking yards, you can't even get in there. This one's actually pretty easy to access. Wheelet molding pile. Those are so hard to ID off a car. This is kind of the tin grill stuff over here. Fronts of the sweptline trucks. Tailgates. Heater boxes. No crew cab trucks. I like my crew cabs. Lots of tailgates. They're all tin grill. That one's off a Ram Charger, I think. At least my Trail Duster has that pattern on it. So it's like a SE Ram Charger. Rins. Another Ram Charger top. 727 pile. Yeah. Interesting. Actually fits on there pretty good. Wonder if that was their canopy. Did they use a Ram Charger top for a canopy on a truck? Because that looks like it like matches and everything. That's crazy. It's actually a pretty nice top. Protecting all the transmissions inside. All right, well, hope you like the tour around here. This place is, don't mess with Texas. Like it. Here comes Ed in the golf cart. We grabbed that fender for Vanessa, and I think we're gonna head on our way and start heading home. This is Tom from Rocket Restorations. Hope everybody enjoyed the tour of Wildcat Auto Wrecking, and we'll talk to you soon.